I don't know if you know much about the Anespa. I'm sure you use one,
Yes,
but
we do.
I did not realize um,
Okay.
our shower unit is the only one in the world.
Wow. Please tell us more.
So these tufa minerals that come out of the Japanese hot springs,
Right?
did you know that they are regulated by the Ministry of Health and they're actually labeled as a medical cure in the Japanese journals? Like if you have this health condition, you go soak in these hot tubs.
Wow.
Like if you have eczema, psoriasis, skin conditions, cancers, arthritis, they say you need to go to these hot springs. Well, the most
Wow.
powerful hot spring they have is in Hokkaido. And if you actually type in Hokkaido hot spring, they'll say that this is the hot spring by which all other hot springs are judged. The radium tufa minerals there have more concentrates than anywhere else in the world. So it's heavily regulated. And it's also where Mr. Oshira bought the mineral rights to buy the tufa minerals that go into our shower unit. Nobody else in the world does that. But game over. It's the only machine that does it. And so, like I said, that's all regulated. Now, is it the same high quality as soaking in? No, because that's like a milk bath almost, but you're getting the same exact effects
Right.
and long-term benefits because you're bathing in it every day instead of 20 minutes 3 times a week.
Right.
And so, it's a concentration level of you're sitting in a hollowed out thing of tufa versus you're working it. So it's not quite as intense, but it still has the exact same overall effect on a smaller scale. And what most people don't realize is they worry about chlorine, but they don't know why. They're like, yeah, chlorine's bad. It's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's going to kill you.
Can you tell us more?
What
What's the
happens
problem with
is
chlorine?
iodine is the binding agent that makes your thyroid work. And when the thyroid shuts down, that compromises your immune system. It shuts down your metabolism. It does all of those things. And so people gain weight, they become sick, they become tired, and it wears out the endocrine system. Well, chlorine competes for the binding site, iodine binding site in the thyroid. So that's why if you go to a pool and you swim,
Okay.
you feel exhausted when you're in a pool that's got chlorine in it.
Right.
Because you literally just poison yourself. Now, you would never think to go grab your water bottle and take a whole quart or a liter of whatever, that water, and just drink right from the pool, right?
Yep, that's true.
You just wouldn't do it. But even in like I said, with the new Dr. Michael videos, we're actually showing the chlorine absorption into the body. It takes you 60 seconds. I can fill this glass with tap water, stick my hand in it, and within 60 seconds, I've absorbed all the chlorine out of it into my body.
Gosh.
And so, your kids are out there. What you don't realize is your absorption rate is 1 quart.
Wow.
Little over a liter per every 10, 15 minutes. You basically get as much chlorine as in a gallon of that pool water every hour you're in the water.
Wow.
So it just destroys the thyroid. So that's a really big piece of the puzzle.
Thomas here. We're going to do a quick chlorine demonstration against tap water and the Anespa system. We have 2 cups here. We're just going to collect water from the system here. Okay. This is from my Anespa shower head, and this is going to be tap water. These are basic chlorine droplets that indicate whether it has chlorine in the water. So we're going to do the Anespa water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. Tap water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. I'm going to stir it up. And right here shows you that the tap water has chlorine and the Anespa doesn't. So when you're showering with just tap water, your pores are being opened and your skin is absorbing this chlorine. We're going to show you a quick demonstration about how chlorine absorbs into your body as you wash your hands and take a shower in standard tap water. So we have 2 cups here, standard tap water in the sink. what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put my hand inside this cup right here. I'm gonna leave it there for about 30 seconds. And this is a chlorine indicator, droplets. If I drop 5 drops in here, 5, it'll show you if it turns color. It'll show you if it has chlorine in it. And you can see that the tap water is dark orange, which means that it has a lot of chlorine in it. So now I've had my hand in here for about 30 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out. Okay, and I'm going to put the same test strips in here. Stir it up. And as you can see, no color. Chlorine, no chlorine. Where did the chlorine go? My hand absorbed it as I'm washing. So that's why you don't wash your hands with tap water. You don't wash your hands with tap water. You wash your hands with beauty water, 6.0 pH from the Kangen system, or you shower with the Anespa system by Enagic'S. I'm going to show you in about 30 seconds how your chlorine from the tap water gets absorbed into your vegetables as you're washing it at home. Okay, so we're going to get tap water here in the sink. And then we're going to get Kangen water, 9.5. The first test we're going to show you is an indication of chlorine tablets. Kangen water, 5 drops. Tap water, 5 drops. Alright, so yellow indicates chlorine. And if it's clear, that means it has no chlorine in it. We're going to take onions that you just cut up that you want to wash, and we're going to put it into the tap water. Now if you're at home and you're washing vegetables at home with tap water, I want you to be careful because you're going to see where the chlorine is traveling to. So that was only about 20 seconds. And we're going to take the water out. And you guys can determine where the chlorine went into. So guys, be sure not to use your tap water at home. It's filled with potentially up to 80,000 different types of contaminants. Get one of these Kangen water systems for your home. This is the #1 way we can rebuild their body and their endocrine system to prevent the toxic uptake. We use it for all of our patients. One, it filters out chlorine, but a lot of stuff filters out chlorine. This will get the trihalomethanes and the dissolved gases and stuff, chemicals and pollutants as well, because the filter is just insane. I mean, you've probably taken it out and been like, that's disgusting. But yeah, and so what happens is you're no longer putting in the chlorine, and then you're using this tufa mineral that helps heal the body.
Right.
So it's a critical piece, in my opinion, for getting people well.
So you are suggesting the Kangen water together with the Anespa, right? A combination, right?
The K8, the Anespa, and a year's supply of Ukon.
Wow.
Just to kind of finish up on the shower unit though. So, you know, my daughter was near death, so I tried the water and I didn't buy a shower unit. I was still pretty stubborn, and we went to a friend's house.
Right.
And he's like, oh, well, you can use our shower in our master bedroom because it's got an Anespa. And I was just kind of like, that's a little weird, man. He goes, what, you don't use an Anespa? I'm like, and I never have showered at my friend's bathroom just because it's weird. He's like, no, man, just go in there. And so anyways, we go in there and Abby's like, wow, this is incredible. And I was like, it's water. Well, it helped clear up her skin because she'd had adult acne issues for years.
Right.
And she said, we are buying one of those. And like every good husband, I go, you know how much they are? I don't care. It'll cost you a lot less than getting facials, everything. Okay, we'll buy it. Well, what happened is my hair had been falling out. Within just a few weeks of using the Anespa, my hair stopped falling out because the chlorine at the house was going down these hair follicles, and the chlorine was sterilizing the root.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really quite amazing. And you don't realize, like I said, if you go to the gym and you jump in the hot tub, it's got like,
Right.
first you open the gate and it feels like you've just entered a gas chamber. But
Right.
if you get in that water for 10 minutes, you just drank a quart of that water.
Wow. And
You're
many
sweating.
people don't see that, right?
It's crazy. So yeah, really dangerous.
Dr. Michael here. People keep asking me, well, is it dangerous to be bathing with like all the chlorine and the chemicals? For starters, let's talk about chlorine for a minute. Most people worry about chlorines and fluorines and fluorides and bromaines and things, but they really don't know why. Like, oh, it causes cancer in this. The reality of that is chlorine is an iodine antagonist. And by that I mean it's a halogen. So everything in that family, whether it's iodine, bromine, fluoride, chlorine, they compete. And they compete with each other for absorption into the thyroid gland and the various aspects of the different body parts so that it will literally shut down our endocrine system. And unfortunately, our environment is literally swimming with these different types of iodine antagonists. So it's actually a really big deal. It's literally everywhere. Whether you're talking about tap water in baths, showers, pools, if you go to the exercise facilities at the gym, the hot tubs, a lot of people go to public pools. And by public pools, I mean like it can be something as simple as in your subdivision. And even more scary is the fact that when you go to a restaurant, they use it to cook your fruits, your vegetables, to make your pasta and things like that. And so it's really a big deal. What most people don't know is they would never think to drink, a gallon of tap water these days unless they're just really in the dark about health and wellness. But most people don't know that if you soak in a hot bath for 15 minutes, you literally absorb as much chlorine as if you drank a whole quart of that water. Now, imagine being in a pool for an hour. That's the equivalent of getting a gallon's worth of that chlorine in your system. People that spend the whole day at the pool, you can get 5-6 gallons worth of toxins in your system by hanging out at the pool for an afternoon. Now, that's why bathing is actually now becoming much more understood as a critical part to the health facility and the healthy lifestyle to facilitate health and healing. The reason being, your skin is your primary connection to the world around you. It's the largest organ in the body, and it connects you to the outside world. It is actually something that absorbs things from the environment. It's extremely sensitive. Most people don't even realize it. And the worst part is, all these little hair follicles you got, that actually wicks the toxins down deep into the skin. So you get it more systemically than anywhere else. And it's really kind of surprising. The other aspect is the sebaceous glands are very, very susceptible to toxins. They detoxify the system. So if it's trying to get the stuff out and you immerse it in a system that is full of toxins, it can be really, really unhealthy. If you want to study bathing, it's really kind of an interesting art in, of all places, Japan. That's not a big surprising. The Ministry of Health actually regulates the hot springs for mineral baths and things like that. I had the opportunity to go to Japan back in 2013, hung out in some of these amazing hot springs, but that's where I learned a lot about what's going on. So they're actually called onsen or hot spring. And it's not just happen to have hot water. It actually has to contain an assortment of about 19 different regulated minerals. And they're very, very specific. They actually passed laws in 1948 to what would define an onsen or a hot spring. First of all, the temperature's got to be 25 degrees Celsius or above, and it contain a certain level of these minerals. That's why many people soak in these hot springs for relaxation and to alleviate certain ailments. But that actually gives it the designation in Japan as a medical hot spring. And they're all over down there. Here's 5 of the beautiful ones that we happen to be able to go see. But they're actually, like I said, they're regulated under law in the Ministry of Health. And the reason why is hot springs and onsens, they help you on a level of several different levels. The first one being pharmacological, and that's a big fancy term. Because of the mineral composition and salts in the hot spring, it has an ability to affect different parts of the body distinctively. The other aspect is thermally, that creates relaxation, vasodilation, and helps the body to kind of get in a better mode. Buoyancy, when you get into a weightless situation, you relax. You take the pressure off your spine, your ligaments, your joints, and things like that. The big thing that most people totally misunderstand is when you immerse yourself into water, there's something that's called hydrodynamic pressure. And when you bathe like that, you actually increase the blood flow and lymphatics in your body, which means that you're increasing your body's ability to carry nutrition and oxygen, and the lymphatics are getting rid of the garbage. The fifth component, which I thought was really kind of an interesting thing as I was studying this, was they talk about just changing your environment and stuff, but they call it the womb effect. Because when you have that buoyancy, not only are you out of the gravity, but they call it the womb effect because you're kind of surrounded in this warm, wonderful feeling. You're getting lots of good nutrition and pharmacological salts and minerals through the water, just like the womb, which I thought was a fascinating concept. And I highly recommend you just go into Google and you type in onsen, medical, hot spring, Japan, and there's just all kinds of information. It's quite fascinating, actually. But different minerals and different compounds and elements affect the body differently. Like sulfur can affect dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, things like that. Copper can affect anemia, blood disorders, menstruations. Your radium can help alleviate pain and things like that, as well as the sodium bicarbonates and chlorides can help with wound healing, as well as digestive issues, which is a really big deal for us, especially with Skylar. And then silica is obviously known to alleviate and help dry skin issues, things like that. But you got to realize these are all superheated to a really good temperature so that this thermal mineral content, adding in this hydrodynamic water pressure that increases the circulation, increases blood flow, increases lymphatics, they're actually improving cardiovascular integrity. And the Japanese have been studying this at the Ministry of Health for 50 years, 60 years. It's really fascinating. It's actually been found to be an extremely important health component for things like thyroid issues, rashes, eczema, psoriasis. That bottom picture on the left is actually me, where I had some severe hair loss. And so we're now finding that the environment that we bathe in is actually critically important. Hot baths, long showers, hot tubs, things like that can actually be adversely affecting your health because of what's in them. Well, there we go, the onsen. Where do you want to go for good hot springs? There's 4 regions specifically in Japan, in that area around, it's called the volcanic rim, but the #1 place in the world is the northern island of Hokkaido, and it's Suo. And it's got the highest mineral content. It's on the volcanic rim. It's known as Hell Valley, and it just has the highest level of minerals. This right here is the Futamata Hot Spring in Hokkaido. It's the #1 hot spring in the world. They talk about using the energy of the earth to heal you, and that's why it's been designated literally the #1 hot spring in the world. And it is the standard for numerous other hot springs all around not only Japan, but the world. And part of that is because it has a legitimate 300-year-old history that they can actually track what's going on and what it's done. So it's not just, oh, hey, you shouldn't get in chlorine. There's like a whole art to this, which I thought was fascinating. So here's some more pictures of the radium hot springs. Again, this is the Futamata Hot Spring in Hokkaido. Just a beautiful place. When we were there, it was amazing to go in to these spas, and you're just literally, you feel rejuvenated. They got them hot, they got them cold. They've got different things for different ailments. It was just interesting to see the importance that they place on this. One of the most important minerals is called radium tufa. It's a limestone content, but it contains the highest concentration of the multitude of minerals that the body needs. And the best part about that is the water machines that we use has this thing that's called an Anespa, and it's literally your very own home spa system. I did not get one of these right away. I thought it was just another chlorine filter, and it wasn't, and that's what led me into the research here, because after we went and stayed at a friend's house who was on a well, and he said, no, you need to use ours, and I'm like, you don't have chlorine? He goes, oh no, it's not that it takes out chlorine, it takes out all kinds of stuff, and it's got rocks from Japan. And I was like, what? So it's literally the only one of its kind in the world. There are no other home-based bath units that use this technology, that use these minerals to help the body. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So tell me a little bit more about it. Well, one, it really does affect the skin. Most people don't realize how fast your body absorbs things from the environment. Many of you have probably already seen my chlorine test where I put 3 fingers in a glass of water in 60 seconds. My body literally absorbed all of the chlorine out of the water. Dramatic effect on hair. Like I said, I was having major hair loss, and it was because the chlorine was wicking down into the hair follicles. But it's just really nice to be able to have this right there at your home. And so when my wife made us buy one, I was a little reluctant, but now I'm like, it's the only place I shower. We bought the extra cartridges and put it in our hot tub, and it really has been an amazing thing, and it's very, very different. You can go buy a chlorine filter from anywhere, but this is a really intense filtration system. It not only removes chlorine, but there's this thing that's called trihalomethanes, and those are the gases and phenols. There's sediments, there's odors, things taste weird, and organic waste, and this thing filters it all out. The other thing is there's these neodymium magnets. They're rare earth magnets that are really, really intense, and they actually activate and energize the water molecules, break them into smaller clusters. That activates the water, makes it easier to get it in, makes it easier to detox your system. And within this system is another internal cartridge, and this cartridge is actually full of this tufa minerals from 2 different hot springs, actually Fiumara and Chukotan. And so you're really getting some amazing stuff while you're chilling out in the shower. And finally, there's what's called power stones. And these are a type of tourmaline that create a very strong negative ion so that it's actually energizing your system, which is just, it's incredible. I recently changed out some filters. If you look on the far right-hand side, that's a new filter that I was getting ready to replace. The one there in the middle that looks just like all brown and nasty, that's the garbage that came out of my shower. Now, it's one thing to think about washing your hands or something, but if you realize that you're heating your body up, you're opening your pores, all that garbage was going into your body unless you're using this type of system. And finally, there's that cartridge that I talked about that had the ceramic crystals from Fiumara and Chukotan. So literally now you can have this whole incredible hot spring event. You can have this literally in your own home. That's what the shower unit looks like. You can fill up your baths, and we use it all the time, every day. It's really, really amazing. Can't recommend it enough. For me, I notice a huge difference with my fatigue, my ability to sleep, and things like that. And there's actually some different things that showed up, but our clients are definitely talking about how much more their skin is just fabulous, incredible. It's soft. A lot of our people that have adult onset acne and things like that, they're noticing that it clears up. Hair being a lot healthier. You know, mine, like I said, you saw the picture, it was falling out. But it's interesting because when you shut your thyroid down, that's actually metabolism, so you're going to have less energy. If you have a system that clears that out and then re-energizes your endocrine system, it gives you a reason to have more energy. Because you're not toxic, you're actually going to sleep better. And it's for those different reasons and the things that we actually heard from our own clients that we decided to make it part of our health trifecta for all of our patients, all of our clients, and all of our executives that we coach. Obviously, we talk about the K8 because that's literally the ultimate in water. Your body is 72% water. If you're using anything less than that, you're just not putting the best water in your body. And then when you take a shower and a bath, if you're using the Anespa, I mean, it's just a whole new level of detoxification and literally protecting your thyroid, your endocrine system, and your immune system to function at its peak level. Another product that we use a lot of is we have an organic turmeric that's, in my opinion, the most natural, best combination I've ever seen. It has capsules, teas, even has soaps for people with skin conditions. And we include that as our part of our, everybody should use it because everybody is 72% water and hopefully everybody bathes. And so this protects the body and rebuilds it from the inside out. The best that it possibly can. Interesting thing to note on the turmeric is if you Google it, you're going to find like 6,000 research articles associated with health conditions and research on PubMed and things like that, where the turmeric is actually highly beneficial.
About the Anespa, the reason it works so well is, one, it gets rid of the trihalomethanes, it gets rid of the chlorines, the bromines, and it has those tufa minerals that are the only ones in the world that do it. And it's like, so not only am I adding good stuff in through my skin, I'm not putting the bad stuff in. Honestly, what makes it so special is you have the tufa, radium tufa minerals from Japan. So because you're on that volcanic rim, you get a lot of minerals that boil up and that are released, and you have really good hot springs, but then they're filtered through the mountains. And so in Japan, they'll actually quantify certain hot springs as medicinal hot springs with curative properties for ABC, XYZ. And they regulate them really intensely. And so what happens is they regulate it based on mineral content, what's there, what's not. The national standard for Japan is the Futamata hot springs out of Hokkaido, because it has the highest concentration of minerals and everything in the hot springs.
Right.
So what Mr. O did is he bought the mineral rights. So he takes those minerals and he puts them in your shower unit.
Awesome.
So even, the filtration in it is amazing. I don't know of any other shower filter that removes trihalomethanes and outgassings. Ours does.
Wow.
Really glad it gets rid of chlorine, because what chlorine does is it binds in your thyroid. You need iodine to boost your immune system, to boost your metabolism, to boost your weight loss and the way you metabolize stuff.
Right.
Well, what happens when you soak in chlorine? So when you soak in a hot tub that's got chlorine in it,
Right.
every 10 to 15 minutes, you absorb as much chlorine through your skin
Wow.
as if you drank a quart of that water. So if your kids go swimming in a pool and they're in there for 2 hours,
It's all gone in.
that's 2 gallons.
Yeah, it's all gone in.
And how about you? Have you noticed any changes?
Yes, I used to have a lot of eczema. Don't have any eczema anymore.
Where was the eczema, if you
All
don't
over,
mind?
in all my crevices, so like my finger joints, my elbow joints, armpits, behind my knees. I used to even have it on my eyelids.
You look amazing now.
Thank you.
So a picture of health. So the eczema, you said you used to have. Let me
Yes.
see the hands. So you mean? Let me just. So it looks completely normal. That there's no signs of it.
So when I was younger, before this Kangen water and the Anespa, I could go like that, and eczema would skin would crack because of the eczema,
Along
in
there,
the
right
joints.
there.
in these and then obviously with the water using the
On both
Anespa.
hands?
Yeah, both hands.
And they're clear.
In elbows.
They
as
look-
well.
Look like
Your skin would rip, yeah. There was no hydration, so then
Yeah.
you'd have to cover it to prevent that. So now I don't have to do any of that because of the water and the Anespa.
oh my goodness.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's such a worthwhile investment, right?
Yeah, or it would crack. I should say crack, not
Okay.
not split or anything.
Okay.
It would just crack because it was so
But
dry.
with the gloves, because it would hydrate
reduce
the
it.
area,
Yeah.
so therefore it doesn't necessarily crack so easily from dryness.
Yeah.
So even after you put lots of creams on,
So yeah, the creams would be good. The creams would probably do 20%, and then the gloves would bring it up to 60 to 70%.
so
of,
were you
killedness.
using cortisones?
Yeah, yep. I had dermatology creams, pharmacy creams, natural remedies.
But even then, it would still crack.
Changed my diet, reduced all dairy, and then when I go away and I don't use the Anespa, I'll get a slight rash. You can sort of see a little bit there.
Oh.
That's only because I've just used it in the last 2 days.
Where?
Just there, very slight.
Very slight. Like just maybe a rough patch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then just back on the Anespa now for 2 days, and that
I
will
know.
go away in another 2 days.
I know, like it's the only one in the world that can get rid of eczema and pimples. It's the only one, yeah. So my boy, he used to have really bad pimples on his face, and being a boy, he's not going to use 2.5, right? Because it takes effort. So in the shower, he rubs like until there's no more slipperiness, and then now no more pimples. You went on a staycation at Crown?
We stayed at Crown for I think it was like 3.
Even in Australia, even in Australia.
Yeah,
Right.
so, you know, just using the water there, like I said, you know, you spend ages under there and you come out and I was just wondering, why is my face all like red, blotchy looking? Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, because of all the 2,000 chemicals in the tap water that we are not able to see, but they're there. They're invisible, but they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you come home to this and then...
Look amazing.
I love it.
Okay, so when I'm waiting for my kids in the car, I run my fingers through my hair, and then there's always knots, and then I tug on it to get rid of the knot, and then I pull out all these clumps of hair, and I mean clumps of hair all over the, you know, and I can literally like put it in my hand and like scrunch the type of ball, and a lot of hair.
Did you say put it into a ball?
Yes. But honestly, since we've been using the water, I don't have knotty hair, and I do actually have, and I have actually noticed that I don't have hair, you know, all over the bathroom floor. Yeah, it's not because I've got long hair, as you can see, and
it's looking really,
and
really
I don't have,
healthy.
and I don't have that. Like previously, I'd be sweeping up or collecting, like, you know, do you know quickly like run your hands or whatever, you know, or you get like a wipe to wipe the floor. But yeah, this time there's not, definitely nowhere near as much
You're
hair.
looking so good, and your
as there was
skin is
before.
looking very youthful. Like, you know, you notice the difference on the face. If you run the water onto your face every day, you will see more of it. And with your eczematous child, whatever area is affected, you just put the water more on that area and just rub to get the water in, because it's the minerals that we are sending
he used
in.
to like get flakes, and it was like, we used to call it like a blizzard. Like you'd see all these flakes come down.
That's dandruff.
Well, he's got psoriasis.
And psoriasis as well, yeah. And yeah, so if he just puts the water on and rubs it into the skin, he's going to recover.
He definitely said not less itchy, and my younger daughter as well.
Lots of people love this on par with Kangen, you know, because it's so good. Yeah. So you said when you pull your hair now, they're not
there's barely any knots, and and to be honest, and even if I just run my fingers through my hair and there are no knots, there's no hair that's coming out, there's no hair that I'm collecting, you know, in my hand.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. Can you please tell me, what did you just say as to the experience regarding the Anespa?
So the water has really helped clear my face. I used to have like spots, breakouts occasionally, but the water has been really helping me just like clarify my skin really well.
That's great. And how about your scalp?
Scalp is getting a lot better. Still has the occasional flake here and there, but I think what you said about rubbing in the specific areas, which is rubbing in more, being more vigorous about it.
Yeah, totally. So you used to have like, I heard like maybe really flaky scalp, is that right?
Yeah.
And did it used to kind of like rain when you like sort of rain from your scalp when you were kind of scratching really hard from your scalp?
Even just like moving the hair around, you would just see like, it would just go all around like the collar. It was just really bad. Yeah.
And now after the Anespa?
A lot better. Nothing or very little around the collar. Has improved a lot. Had to scratch very hardly to get something out, but other than that, it's working wonders.
Wow, yeah, you have to scratch really hard to see anything come out.
Yep.
And of course, it's less itchy as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Much less itchy, so you wouldn't need to be scratching so much.
Correct.
Yeah, and you've only been using it for a few weeks, isn't it? So the best is yet to come.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much
That's
for
right.
that.
Okay, what are the changes I've seen? First thing first, my bathroom is a lot cleaner. So, my bathroom is really clean. First thing first. And second thing is no more hair in the water outlet. No more hair. Number third thing I noticed is I am no longer resting after a shower. I used to come back to work after a shower. I would have to sit in the bathroom because I get too tired. I had to vent. And I no longer have to do that. And it was only when Win mentioned about chlorine, when heated, becomes trihalomethane, which we then breathe in. Our bathroom is literally our own mini gas chamber. So I think I'm just about the only one who gets tired after a shower. I don't know whether you guys are the same. That's the number third thing. And then the number fourth thing is my hair came back. I have been losing hair since my 30s. It was so bad to the extent my mom would ask me, I had long hair, and my mom would ask me, cut your hair, because it's just too much hair on the floor. And after all these years of losing hair, can you believe it? At this age, my hair has come back, and actually this time I had to thin it out. I thin it out because my hair has become too thick. It is true, Anespa makes a whole lot of difference. When I talk to people about Anespa, I only mention the one thing is not the filter. Of course, the filter is very different. It is different from any other filter you get out there because it's impregnated with Tomlin. But people won't understand that. I have to mention is the mineral stone from Futamata Radiant Hot Spring. There is no system out there that has a Futamata Radiant Hot Spring. And if people understand that minerals from Futamata Radiant Hot Spring absorb into our body, will repair our DNA, damaged DNA, and improve our immune system. And that is also the reason why people get sick less. Well, we don't come from a sickly family, but when I was away from Anespa for 10 days in Malaysia, then I started scratching, and now I remembered, I used to scratch so much. My friends in Malaysia used to laugh at me because I was scratching so much. And I do no longer scratch. I didn't even notice. So it is sometimes a product is, when in the absence of it, then you start to realize what it is good for. So I hope any one of you who are shortchanging yourself by not having an Anespa, please go and get yourself. Do yourself a favor, buy an Anespa.
Don't know what went wrong. I developed eczema. So then I bought Anespa shower unit, and that was really heaven. The water somehow, every time I have a shower, I used to have tight skin, especially on my face. It feels tight, but with the Anespa shower unit, it's smooth and clean. And what happened to the worst part is my eczema attacks above my eyebrow and then of course when I shower I used to use Anespa. So now I swear by it. Oh my poor skin, my hand. Yep, that's it. It cracks every time I move my hand. Every time I want to grab a cup, it cracks. So there's no way this wound will heal itself because I move my fingers and thumbs every day, and 1 month later I got better, and now it's perfect. Thank God.
And as a nurse, you couldn't use any medication.
I was prescribed corticosteroid creams and tablets. They just don't work. I just can't explain.
Here is June's written testimony. I developed skin reactions for no apparent reason. It got worse with time. Even corticosteroids didn't help. It was embarrassing when people started asking what happened. The picture of my left hand that Pastor Madeline sent was when it was at its worst. Every time I moved my thumb, the wound would crack open. It looked like it would never heal. It was very painful too. When my Anespa shower unit arrived, I gave myself a long shower. Long enough for my skin to absorb the super tiny water to hydrate itself. I also used minimal soap. I also gave my wound extra attention. After a few days and showers, I find that the wound was less inflamed and it didn't crack on movement of my thumb. I continued showering with Anespa. The wound improved very quickly. I am glad all is back to normal within a month. I like to add to the above stories on how Anespa water can help heal eczema or bad rashes on my lower leg. By the way, I suffer badly from varicose veins, thus leading to poor circulation for several years. Sorry I didn't take any photos of my rashes, but after a couple of months they cleared up. Pastor Madeline has witnessed my rashes, so she can testify to it. Gloria's shin nearer to her ankle was red and bleeding for several years. She used steroids in between, which only helped temporarily. This rash was a big, round 4 inches by 5 inches brownish black rash for about 3 to 4 years. However, after using the Anespa, the patch cleared up and never came back again. Her skin on her leg is like baby skin again and with no signs of the rash patch.
It's like showering in silk, makes a huge difference.
Just a bit of info. I suffered from very itchy skin, especially on my legs for years, sometimes having to get out of bed and put the hottest water I could stand on them to get relief. But since Irene and Win loaned me, then I bought my own Anespa system, not one night have I had to get out of bed. Also, Moe and me have beautiful soft skin. Good job. We are both well into our 70s. Thank you, beautiful ladies.
Thanks, Win, for sharing about the Anespa. I love the Japanese hot springs and find them so therapeutic. In Japan, after lots of walking or skiing, I really look forward to the hot springs, which will take away all the aches and pains and invigorate my body. I bought the Anespa a few years ago after my Japan trip, and now I can enjoy the same benefits right in my home. My skin has definitely become softer and smoother, possibly even maintained my youth. I've always had pimples on my back, and only the hot springs or the seawater can help me clear the pimples. Even antibiotics didn't work for me, but since I used Anespa, my skin has totally cleared. Every time my son has a cold, I'll fill up the bath with Anespa water and he will feel so much better after a soak. His sinus will clear, his aches will lessen. He will actually feel more energy after a bath and recover very quickly from his cold.
The Anespa immensely boosts my immune system. My 2 children and I used to get severe colds and flu just about every 3 weeks. After we began drinking Kangen water, we almost never ever got sick, but the nights I would only sleep for 2 to 3 hours, I would almost always get the symptoms of a cold by the next day. This is before the Anespa entered our lives. After the Anespa came along, even if I was to have 10 or more consecutive nights of very little sleep, I would still not catch a cold, which is unheard of for me. Like so many people, my immune system is deeply affected by sleep. Since the Anespa can prevent me from colds and flu by boosting my immune system, I know it is protecting me against deeper threats like cancer, which the immune system is designed to destroy. Every time I travel overseas, I would still water, but I leave the Anespa at home. And almost always, I would come back home with a cold. This makes it clear to me about the enormous importance of the Anespa on my naturally weak immune system. My daughter's long hair is silky soft. She no longer has split ends, thanks to the Anespa, and she is the envy of her whole class in a girls-only school. I am amazed that with any dry or angry irritated spots on my skin, I would rub the Anespa water into it, and literally within just 1 or 2 times the issue would vanish. No creams, no chemicals, just pure mineral-rich water straight from nature's most healing spring. People I know who have good whole house filters still insist that they hop out of the shower with itchy skin and hair that feels like they have just been out of the pool. Only the Anespa rids that problem for them. I notice healing is so much faster when the water from the Anespa gets access to any sores or wound. Anytime I run my hands over my skin after the Anespa, my skin feels silky smooth, like baby soft skin. I dyed my hair a unique purple color. Before the Anespa entered my life, this color would only last for no more than 5 washes in terms of vibrancy. With the Anespa, this color would last for months and months. This helps me save a lot of money and a lot of time going to the hairdressers. I've lost count of how many people who put their face under the Anespa shower and hop out looking like they have been Botoxed. That's the kind of youthful effect the Anespa water has. For something that lasts literally a lifetime to protect and nourish the entire family, this is liquid gold for your health.
Anespa doing wonders to my face, Win.
This is my personal experience with Anespa. I've been having itchiness on my leg for a very long time and none of the creams work. I shower twice a day with Anespa. On day 10, the scar almost disappeared and no more itchy.
Hey mate, I want to tell you my experience with the Anespa. I have a wonderful experience with it. The first time experience with the Anespa, to be honest with you. I was in the shower for 1.5 hours, reminded me of the water back in the rocks in the Cook Islands where I come from. Bro, to experience this amazing device. I have no words to describe it now. All I can say to you, you've got to have one to experience it for yourself. My experience with it. It's amazing. It flows smoothly on the skin, my bro. Remember the saying that we always say, change your water, change your life. I just want to say this changed your shower system, change your life. Just lending an Anespa shower unit out for about 10 days to a customer and I got this reply. Hi Madeline, when will you be coming over to my place as it has been a week since you let me try out mineral iron water in my shower? I love it. Can you install one for me? Hey all, just wanted to share with you my Anespa story and let you know how I've been going with my Enagic'S products. I started drinking from my KA about 4 years ago and saw a difference immediately and all my youngest eczema, which was awful, cleared up. I only purchased my Anespa at the beginning of this year after learning and being horrified about how much toxins and chlorine I was absorbing through my skin through my shower water. I saw a massive difference in my skin pretty instantly and now even hate washing my hands under my tap water. What I've seen in myself is I no longer come out of the shower with tight skin after drying myself. My hair is really soft, is thicker and has stopped breaking as much. With my youngest, his eczema cleared up with the drinking water, but what I noticed from the shower is that the little bumps on his skin have disappeared and his skin is so much softer. I'm so impressed with the improvements just from changing my shower water. Hi everyone, it's Branks. I just wanted to write a little message regarding my #1 to-go secret, our Anespa. Not only are you feel glorious and hydrated, but I also found out it to be my best de-stressor living with complex PTSD. I find an Anespa shower before bed helps my body naturally wind down. Thank you kindly Enagic'S, your beautiful Anespa is an 11+. Hi all, we've just spent a lovely 3 weeks exploring the lovely island of Bali and Gili. We were fortunately able to source our Kangen water for our whole journey as I don't know how we would have gone without it for so long. However, we had to travel light and couldn't take our Anespa. My goodness did it show on our skin. It's incredible how much we absorb through our skin and for the first time in a long time I needed more moisturizer than I could apply. Instantaneously reversed now being back home with our Anespa. So grateful to have an Enagic'S household. It's often not until our products are taken away that we realize how much they actually do. Please pray my suitcase with 2 Anespas in it is found at Adelaide Airport and comes to me on next plane. I miss my shower. Thank you for helping me. Love the new filter. Just sharing my Anespa experience. I bought my Anespa together with KA. Just seeing the dirty Anespa filter and being told 15 minutes tap water shower is equivalent to drinking 1 litre was enough. It is a no-brainer. Our skin is porous. What I noticed with an Anespa shower is the following. Number 1. I'm no longer tired after a shower. I used to have to sit down after a tap water shower. Thought it was my fitness issue. But in fact, the lethargy must have come from inhaling the toxin chlorine fume. I didn't realize I was literally gassing myself in my mini gas chamber. Number 2. With Anespa, my hair does not require hair conditioner after shampooing with African black soap. Number 3. My daughter's long hair is not as badly tangled after Anespa shower. Number 4. We lose very little hair during shower. Number 5. I can get away without using body lotion after Anespa shower. whereas I had to apply body lotion after each tap water shower. Number 6. With Anespa, my shower is now much cleaner and easier to maintain. Got my second Anespa shower unit set up. You can never go back to chlorinated water once you start using one of these home mineral springs.
My son-in-law soaks his feet in Anespa water before he sleeps. He says he has a better sleep by doing so.